Now, one of the things we've talked about on the show before is if you're watching your child have a seizure, it's one of the most traumatic things you can possibly imagine. But for Kim, it's been a way of life for as long as she can remember. Her son, Caden, has as many as 300 seizures every day.
Caden's birth was a difficult birth.
He got caught in the birth canal and he suffered a lack of oxygen, and then things just kind of spiraled downward after that.
In his birth picture, he was doing this sort of interesting pose. He had his hands kind of locked above his head. And we took that to the neurologist with us, and he said, no, that's in fact an infantile spasm. From the first day he was born, he had seizures. At 2 months old, he had his first grand mal seizure. His arms would flex up over his head and lock. His eyes would roll up, and he would scream a sound that is horrible. And then he would start shaking 250 to 300 times a day. So he was seizing nonstop every day, all day. The first treatment was an anti-epileptic drug without much success. The second treatment that we tried was a steroid treatment. It helped for a little while, but then it fell off very quickly, and he gained so much weight.
The side effects from these pharmaceuticals are horrific. One actually stopped him from walking.
The seizures began to progress. He started having what was called drop attacks. It looked as if somebody would take the back of his head and push him to the floor as hard as they possibly could. He's had 7 broken noses. He's had several broken eyes, and for years he wore a full helmet with this incredibly thick plexiglass faceplate.
We were very worried how long Caden would last, especially with the amount of seizures that he was having. So our physician recommended that Caden have surgery.
The right frontal lobectomy, and it is the newer, prettier word for lobotomy.
We were desperate at this point, and it was something that we had to do to save our little boy. It did stop the drop attack seizures. The other seizures continued on though, and the bad electrical activity just spread.
Within a week and a half, he had a stroke. This stroke created a new type of seizure that we had never seen before.
We're still up in the neighborhood of a couple of hundred seizures a day.
It was absolutely devastating. Hope gone.
We had accepted the fact that Caden was going to die from these seizures.
That was it. We were done.
Hey, I'm Dr. Travis Stork. Press here to subscribe to the doctor's YouTube channel and press here to help reduce tension.